in the jungle was a life of innocence, far removed from civilization, progress, and development. Until the rubber planters, the missionaries, the oil companies, and the colonists arrived. People who did not know our jungle, who destroyed our peace, and made us aggressive to all outsiders.
The destruction of the Guarani people began in 1967 when the American company Texaco drilled the first oil well. Since then, 22 production plants have been built, 399 wells, and over 500 kilometers of pipeline, and the impact on the environment has been disastrous. In 32 years, over 70 million liters of crude oil have been spilled. Over 100,000 liters of toxic waste has been poured directly into the rivers. 1 million hectares of forest have been cleared, and over 235 million cubic meters of gas have been burnt in the open air, affecting a population of 300,000 indigenous peoples. Many of them now suffer from everything from skin diseases to cancer, as well as all the viruses brought by the white man: smallpox, measles, whooping cough, plague, typhus, dysentery, flu. Rocío Alarcón is an ethnobotanist who has spent many years fighting to defend the interests of the indigenous tribes.
Obviously, behind oil companies, behind wood companies, there are human groups belonging to this country who look for new alternatives and come to settle these lands. And the laws, the state, with its slowness taking decisions, or with its contradictory laws, has provoked that the Guarani lose more and more land every day. They lose their habitat and therefore their knowledge.
The network of bridges and roads built by the multinationals meant this once impenetrable territory became accessible. The oil attracted people from every corner of the country in search of a better life. Davo is Nyame and Vara's oldest son, but they have had no news of him for many years. He and his wife decided to leave the forest, attracted by money and the oil companies. He has still not been able to adapt to this new way of life, and he feels lost between two worlds. His only escape is alcohol.
I thought it was coming to paradise. My friends, the timber merchants, told me stories about the oil companies. They convinced me to come here to work, saying I would earn a lot of money. But I didn't, and now I regret leaving the jungle. Every single day I think about how I used to hunt with my father and all my brothers, all of us naked. I was very happy. Now I realize that paradise is not this, but what I left behind. Now it's too late.
Davo is not the only Guarani who left the jungle. Many, like him, decided to start a new life and seek their fortunes, but few have been able to adapt. Their culture has lost its identity and pride to such an extent that they've now become beggars in the midst of the wealth of their own territory. They beg for charity while their houses are built on enormous reserves of oil.
The change is very pronounced. The old people have hidden their knowledge. They have hidden the way they are. And you need to spend time and energy getting to them and getting to know their real inner world, which is covered, blocked by the current meaning of civilization. Regarding the young people, they feel attracted to the concept of the city, modernism, radio, television. We, the Ecuadorians, and the world around us, all of us who are part of this planet, who are hungry for natural resources, hungry for oil, hungry for a series of nature's products. We have brought about this change. We are the ones who have made this happen through oil, wood, and drug companies, and of course us, the consumers.
The older members seem resigned, but what future lies ahead for the younger generations?
I think the Warani are still in time to develop a protective strategy by means of two lines. Protection of the ancestral knowledge, but that goes hand in hand with protection of the forest. Supplying alternatives for them to become capable and to be able to enter into the modern world, but in a slower and safer way. Because within 50 years, they have had a change that goes from the stone to civilization to the computer.